Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be reviewing Someone to Share My Nightmares by Sonora Taylor. This is a short story collection focusing around horror stories that have got a romantic or loving twist to them. And if you have watched my videos or channel for a while now, you should know that romance is not really my thing, even though I consider myself to be a very romantic person. Romance isn't really a genre that I gravitate towards. I don't mind if it's a small subplot within a book, but I don't really go out and just read romantic novels. So this isn't the first book by Sonora that I have ever read. I have actually read and reviewed Seeing Things, which is about a small girl who sees dead people. I will have a link down below to that video review, or it will be down below in the description in case you want to check it out. That was a really fun and engaging and imaginative book that I really enjoyed so much. So when Sonora and I were talking on email, she sent me a free copy of Seeing Things and also a copy of Someone to Share My Nightmares on my Kindle. She wanted to send me a signed copy, but she sent me one on my Kindle and she said, right, when I get the copies of the books in, I will send you one. And she actually did. This is a paperback version of the book. That's the cover, and it's a really good and gorgeous cover. It's a very small book, and she even personally signed it for me, which is really cool. So that's hopefully you can pick that up on the camera. So yeah, it was really good to actually get this, and I was really excited to actually read this book after I enjoyed reading Seeing Things so much. And this is going to be my honest review for Someone to Share My Nightmares, as I didn't enjoy this book as much as Seeing Things, but it was a really interesting book. But before I get into telling you what all the stories are all about, let's just go straight over to Sonora now, where she'll be talking to you guys and telling you a little bit about this book and about herself as an author.
Hi, my name's Sonora Taylor, and I'm the author of Someone to Share My Nightmare Stories. It's my most recent short story collection, and it will be out October 19th in ebook, paperback, and hardcover through Amazon as well as other independent retailers online. It's my fourth short story collection. My other three are The Crow's Gift, Wither, and Little Paranoias. And Little Paranoias actually won the Ladies of Horror Fiction Award for Best Collection in 2019. So it was fun getting back into short stories. I tend to alternate between writing novels and writing short story collections. This one is unique in that while all of my stories usually have some element of romance or sex or love in it, in this collection, I deliberately set out to write a more romantic horror collection because I really wanted to explore how adding that element of love, of romantic love, of sex, either heightened the horror or enhanced the horror, especially because to fall in love and to have sex and to feel romantic feelings for someone else is willingly placing yourself into vulnerability with another person. And so a lot of the stories in Someone to Share My Nightmares really explore that. So if you want to check it out, again, the book will be out October 19th. It'll be available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, bookshop.org, lots of different places. I hope you'll check it out, and thank you, David, for reading and reviewing it.
Thanks for that, Sonora. And if you want to contact this wonderful author, I will have a bunch of contact information linked down below. She's really nice and sweet to actually talk to, and she's really friendly as well. And I believe that she is an author which people in the horror community or in HorrorTube should actually read more from. So before I get into my whole video, you guys know what the drill is. This is going to be a spoiler-free video, and this is going to be my own thoughts and feelings regarding this book and all of its stories. I have actually made notes of all the individual stories, and I am just going to say the name or the title of the story, what I rated it, and something about the story. So the first one is called Someone to Share My Nightmares, and this is about a woman who is grieving the death of her favourite horror and film director. She is wandering around the forest where I'm pretty sure he died or where he was murdered, and she feels a strong connection towards this author. I wouldn't say she's completely obsessed with him, but she's definitely a very big fan of his work. And this forest isn't what it appears to be. It seems to be feeding on bad and negative thoughts. So I thought that this story was a really interesting and good way to kick off this book. So I give it a 3.5 stars out of 5. The next story is called Petal, Page and Peel. Not sure if I've said that right, but that's as close as I'm ever going to get it. This is a really short story as it focuses around a woman who is making this notebook that contains all of the loving words from her former lover. So I give this story a 2.5 stars out of 5. The next one is called Bump in the Night, and this is about two women who encounter all these strange occurrences in an apartment. Basically, this woman calls a plumber, or this female plumber, over to her apartment primarily to have a sexual encounter with this lady. And when they are together, all this weird and spooky stuff happens in this house, and they have to try to uncover or discover what's going on. So I like this story. I give it a 3.5 stars out of 5. This next story, which is called Meticulous. Again, apologies if I've said it wrong. But this is a poem. I had no idea what I was reading. It was very short. And I didn't really like this story as I haven't read too much poetry, and I'm actually not sure if it's my thing or not. But I give it a 2 stars. I suppose if you like poetry or poems, then this may be your thing. But it was okay, it was fine, but I didn't really understand it. This next story is called The Parrot, and this is about a couple who are both married, and the man is very dominating and controlling towards his wife. It's not implied that he ever hits her, but I think it's more psychological abuse than physical abuse. And this woman invents this device that is called the Parrot, and basically this device controls everything in the house. It's kind of like Google or one of them other devices which you talk to and it gives you random information that you want to know. But this device is, I wouldn't say sentient, but it is aware about its surroundings, and it's very aware about if this female is around it or how long she's actually been away. And then after his wife actually dies, this device acts really, really weird. And yeah, I really enjoyed this book. It was really, really good, and I had a lot of fun reading it. So I give it a 3.5 stars out of 5. The next story is called Candy, and this is about a lady who is obsessed about this one specific type of Valentine's candy that she cannot get any time of the year apart from Valentine's Day, and she goes out of her way to get a excessive amount of this one specific candy. But when she's in a local supermarket, a man gets the last box of this candy that she is obsessed with, and she goes out of her way to harass this individual and to basically beg him to actually give her the last box of this candy. And this doesn't go too well for the guy, as well as it like focuses around how far this individual or this lady would go for her favorite sweet or candy. I give it a 3 stars out of 5. The next story, which was probably my favorite in the whole of the collection, and that is called The Sharps. And this is about a lady who sails to a remote island where this cabin where she usually stays, and she's attacked by all these strange small creatures that jump at her and try to eat her and eat her boat. They are extremely carnivorous. They are obsessed about eating flesh and blood, and they isolate her on this island and she has no way out. Her boat's destroyed, and then one day this man shows up on the island and they have to survive with each other. And because this lady has been on this island by herself for so many months, she has certain needs, I suppose, and she has a relationship with this guy, and they have to try to survive these mysterious creatures called the sharps. So as I said, this was my favourite story and I give it a 4 stars out of 5. The next story is called You Promised Me Forever. And this story is about a woman who is a vampire and she's in a relationship with another vampire. And she is questioning her motives into doing it. She actually misses her human life and she wants to perhaps leave this individual, even though throughout the book she's always saying that she deeply loves this individual or this guy and she would never leave him, but she's always feeling pushed and pulled towards her human life. She actually misses her friends, what she used to do, and this is just about her struggles to find out where she belongs or if she wants to leave her vampire boyfriend or husband or whatever, or stay with him. So I give this story a 2.5 stars out of 5. This next story is going to either upset you or you're really going to like it. It's one that you'll either love or you'll hate. For me, I was more on the in the middle, but leaning towards the like side. I'm not sure why, but this story focuses around Christmas, more specifically around Krampus, the Christmas demons. And it's about a lady who finds herself completely and utterly obsessed and attracted sexually and physically towards Krampus. She keeps on thinking about him all the time. Whenever she thinks about having sex with Krampus, she gets aroused and she is driven by this need. She is fixated on having a romantic relationship with Krampus. That's all she wants to do. So when they both meet up, they have sex and they have a romantic relationship with each other, and they know that they are from 2 different worlds and they can never be together. But it's just about their struggle towards this strange and unusual situation that they find themselves in. And also we find out from Krampus that he's actually had numerous other romantic relationships as well. So depending on where you stand with Krampus, you're either going to dislike this concept or you're going to find it really unusual and you may find yourself even liking it. But I thought that it was a okay story, so I give it a 3 stars out of 5. So that's it guys, that is my video on Someone to Share My Nightmares by Sonora Taylor. Hopefully this has been informative for you. I know that Sonora has been mentioned a couple of times on BookTube, and I'm still a massive fan of her work. Even though I liked seeing things a bit more than Someone to Share My Nightmares, it hasn't put me off reading her work. I want to pick up some more of her novels, probably next year. And if you have any recommendations about where I should go next with this author, please comment down below. So if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment down below, let me know, have you read anything by Sonora, or if you've read this book, let me know what your thoughts are about it. Let me know if I've intrigued you to pick this book up and to give Sonora a chance. And as I said, I will have a link down below to Seeing Things, which was the first ever book that I have read by Sonora. It will be linked down below, so please feel free to check that out. If you have enjoyed this video as a whole, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you do, please click on that bell as it will remind you whenever I upload videos, which are every Monday and Friday. And I will have a link down below to my Goodreads account in case you want to follow me on Goodreads and see what I'm reading. And with all that out of the way, have a Merry Christmas, read some awesome books, and I will see you all in my next video.